Over the past couple of days, I've made a concentrated effort to try and get back into Paper Mario Origami King. For those of you who don't remember, I quit a job around the time Origami King came out. Origami King and Deadly Premonition 2 came out, so I was like busy with like getting a new one and reorganizing my life and things like that. Which turned out very, very, very well for me, by the way. But as a result of that decision, I never actually finished Origami King. So I'm only just now getting back into it. I'm only just now going through these really creative situations, these really creative level designs, really creative worlds, fighting these great bosses, having a great time playing this game. And I just need to say, fuck Arlo and his shitty-ass Muppet. I have no idea what this motherfucker is trying to do in continuing to pretend that modern Paper Mario is bad. Like, it was unreasonable to continue thinking that, like, there was something wrong with Paper Mario with when Color Splash came out, but to continue insisting that Paper Mario has lost its way with the sixth entry in the series, with Origami King, which is basically more of the same from Color Splash, but still just as good. Like, I'll tell you, I think I prefer Color Splash by a great margin because I think that one was a great deal funnier, but Origami King is really, really memorable in its own right. Like, I like Origami King a lot. And to see Arlo, people like him, insisting that, like, oh yeah, this game, it's bad because, like, it's not exactly like the Thousand Year Door. It reminds me a lot of how back in the mid 2000s, like, a lot of people talked shit about Majora's Mask, right? Because it wasn't like the other Zelda games, and then and then the pendulum sort of swung back in the opposite direction when these people grew up and realized that, like, oh wait, Majora's Mask actually has a really dark, complex narrative that deals with lots of mature adult subjects, far superior to games that that are supposedly more mature, like The Last of Us Part 2. In a way, like, Majora's Mask sort of had the opposite. Well, Majora's Mask was in the same boat, right? Where it was just being bombarded by criticism for no real reason. Like, people did not look at that game and really consider its merits and what it does well. They kind of, like, they dismissed it for not being exactly like Ocarina of Time, the best game ever made, like one of the best games of all time. And that's kind of what we're seeing here with Origami King. Like, I personally don't think I like the newer Paper Mario games as much as the original, as the first two. However, the first two are some of, like, the fondest memories I have with gaming, period. Like, I love those games. I don't think it's possible for any game to replicate that feeling I had playing through those games the first time. It's just not doable, like, at all. And it's kind of interesting to me how someone like me sort of feels about this compared to someone like Arlo, right? Like, me, when it comes to someone like me, I can sort of appreciate what I have and sort of move on with my life and enjoy other things. But Arlo, people like him, are always stuck in the past. They're always stuck in this sense of, they're always stuck in this mindset that, like, everything has to be the exact same. Otherwise, like, I can't enjoy it. Right? Like, that's the mindset Arlo is in. Like, because Origami King is so radically different than the Thousand Year Door, it can't possibly be good. Like, I think he tries to, like, justify his opinion and goes way more in depth regarding the subject, and tries to, like, say that Origami King doesn't do things well or things like that. But what he really means, like, what you can, like, trivialize his argument by that one statement. Like, he only feels that way. He only hates Origami King because it's not exactly like the Thousand Year Door. That's the only reason he's railing on this game so hard. And I think now, we're kind of at the point now, like, we're nearing the point where the Thousand Year Door is 20 years old. Like, we're kind of nearing the point where most people today getting into these games are going to be more familiar with the new Paper Mario games. Sticker Star, Color Splash, and Origami King. I think Origami King, in particular, has kind of created this division of the Paper Mario fan base who actually do prefer the newer games over the old ones, because like those are the ones that they grew up with, that those are the ones that they played, those are the ones that they enjoyed, right? Like there are lots of people out there like that. I know, like Origami King did really really well. Like after years of some of the most like outlandish backlash from Pretendos that I've ever seen, spearheaded, right, by this Blue Muppet, right? So there are a couple of things to take away from this. Like, the most important thing from a Nintendo fan perspective is that, like, if the game is good, it's going to garner a fan base regardless of what any YouTuber says about it. Like Skyward Sword has a fan base in spite of like the dedicated hate campaign against it. Star Fox Zero has a dedicated fan base, and the new Paper Mario games have developed a legitimate fan base who love these games for what they are. And Arlo in his attempts to like keep himself relevant, to try and keep like this idea in people's heads that there's something wrong with Paper Mario is being really disrespectful to these people, I think, because Arlo feels that only he knows what real Paper Mario is. Only he can tell you what makes a good Paper Mario game. The only good Paper Mario game are the first two. And if you enjoy the later games in the series, you are an idiot. You are ignorant. Like, allow me, a Blue Muppet, to educate you on the... allow me, a Blue Muppet, to educate you on the wonders that is the first two Paper Mario. And of course, like, there's something to be said there, that the first two games are still just as good as ever. They're still highly replayable, and they will, I think, continue to be very popular in the future, just like most Nintendo games, right? But like, Arlo needs to understand that the new games are good too, and they need to be respected.